Hello, and today I'm going to be taking my first look at the new 2026 motorized engines. But today we're just going to be taking a look at Thomas. So yeah, I got this today and it cost, I think it was $12.50, which is cheaper than the previous motorized engines. So yeah, this is my first time taking a look at this. I haven't taken it out of the box yet or anything. So yeah, speaking of the box, let's take a look at it. So interestingly, there is no plastic covering the engines, because with all previous versions of these toys, they've been protected by a layer of plastic. But these are just sort of out in the open, and I think that's going to be a bit of a problem, to be honest. I can definitely see this getting scratched up and dusty in stores. But yeah, anyway, so the boxes have been completely redesigned. We've got the new design of Thomas. At first, I really didn't like the new face, but I am sort of getting used to it now. It isn't that bad, to be honest. So they've also changed up the colors. Normally the box designs are a very light blue, but they've sort of changed it to a darker blue. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. In the top corner, we've got the new Thomas & Friends logo. And I've got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the new logo. Thomas & Friends has had the same logo for such a long time now, it just feels a bit weird to just change it. But yeah, and then also I forgot to mention, in the corner there's the Mattel logo on 3+. If I flip it to the back, there's pretty much nothing. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the box, and I'm not really too sure how to get this open. To be honest, I think there's like a little tab on the bottom which you can open. And I should maybe be able to rip it open. Okay, so the first thing we get looks like instructions. Why do you need this many instructions? What? Okay, these look like the actual instructions here, hang on. Okay, so we've just got the Thomas logo, and then it's literally just how to put the battery in. So I'll get all this out of the way. So it looks like I've got to like unscrew these little plastic things here. I don't know what you'd call these really. But yeah, but it does look like he's coming out now. Okay, Thomas is free. So yeah, I'll put Thomas to one side and we'll get his wagon out. So here is Thomas and his truck, and the magnet's pretty strong actually, which is good. So I'll start off by addressing the elephant in the room, and that is the face. And at first I really didn't like the face, but it has sort of grown on me. I'm getting kind of used to it now, which is good. So yeah, out of all of the new face designs, I think Thomas has probably the best one. So yeah, he's of course got the colouring in the eyes, if you can see that. And also the printing on the faces is a lot better than it was on the 2025 ones, if you have a look there. So yeah, and I'm also a really big fan of the new size as well. I thought the 2025 and the All Engines Go ones were just a bit too big. They just looked too oversized for the the size of the wheels. They also just didn't fit through tunnels and stuff. But this one is really nicely sized. So on the running board, he's got the molded lamp. He hasn't got painted buffers for some reason as well. And I feel like painted buffers should, just be standard. I mean, I just don't know why they don't paint the buffers. Something I'm not a big fan of is that his boiler is just really tiny. Usually in the toys, Thomas is portrayed with a pretty big boiler, but this one is just, I don't know, it's just really small and thin. So if we take a look at this side, you can see the printing is much better than it has been on previous toys. It just looks really crisp, it looks really nice. The number 1 looks really good as well. And also the handrails aren't just printed on, they're sort of 3D, they've been molded on. So that's a really good detail. And if I just compare the printing of the 2025 toys, you can see that, yeah, the new one is a lot more crisp and looks a lot nicer. Although something I have noticed is the sticker for the cab windows is, I think, the exact same as the one on the 2025 Thomas. And I mean, I don't know why they're using a sticker. I mean, I don't get why they can't just print it on. It would be better. But yeah, he's got the boiler bands on the boiler painted, and those have been painted really nicely. Sometimes you get, you know, ones that are wonky and stuff, but this one looks pretty good. He's also got the water filler caps on the tanks, which is a good detail. He's also got a separate cab roof and a nice detailed coal load. I also really like the new button. It's quite satisfying. It also doesn't stick out like the switches used to. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the details. I haven't mentioned the wheels yet, actually. On the 2025 Thomas, the wheels were really small, and it just looks a bit weird. But on the new Thomas, he's got much bigger wheels, which looks a lot better in my opinion. The middle one doesn't spin, unfortunately, it just sits there. But yeah, the coupling rod detail as well looks really good. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about Thomas. Here's his truck. There's not much to say about it. It's got the wooden planking details on the inside, and it's blue as well, and it's also got the magnets, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Thomas. So I'll get some batteries in him now. And I should mention that I will just be reusing old batteries. So if he runs a little bit slow, then that's just probably because I'm using old batteries. Okay, so I've just unscrewed him, and it looks like he takes one AAA battery instead of two. Okay, so I've put the battery in. Let's see if he works. And he's actually quite fast. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so I've put him back together now. Let's see if he will run. Let's couple up his truck. So yeah, he's running pretty fast. But yeah, before I set up a loop of track, let's just do some comparisons. So here he is next to the Play Rail Thomas, and these are just completely different. I will be honest, I do prefer the Play Rail one. He has a nicer face, more details, and he can freewheel, of course. But this new 2026 Thomas is not bad, I will be honest. You can see that the new Thomas is actually smaller than the Play Rail one. So that's pretty interesting. So next up we have the classic Tommy Thomas. And you can't really compare these two just because they're so different. But yeah, I mean, they're both good. This one is better, to be honest, but they're both good. This Thomas is quite nice, as I've said. But yeah, and then for the final comparison, we have the Wooden Railway Thomas, because of course this Thomas has magnets now, so he can connect to Wooden Railway, which is pretty cool. I do think it's pretty cool that you can connect this to Wooden Railway. It's just, it doesn't really make much sense since, you know, they don't make Wooden Railway anymore. Unless they're going to bring it back, which I doubt, because, I mean, Wooden Railway 2022 didn't really do that well. But yeah, anyway, I'll stop rambling, and I will put him on a loop of track so we can see how he runs. Okay, so I don't have any of the new 2026 tracks, so I will just be using some classic Trackmaster track, but Thomas still should be able to work on this just fine, so let's get him going. So that was my review of the new 2026 Thomas. Overall, I think it's pretty good, and I can definitely recommend it. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments, because I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about it. Some people love it, some people hate it. But yeah, there will be a Gordon review coming soon, so watch out for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, then consider subscribing. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and bye for now.